comment that says me or your favorite emoji below, because I don't know a coach, a service provider, a consultant who isn't concerned with how much reach, how much more we can be getting out of social media without wasting a ton of time. And so we're going to keep it very simple, very straightforward today. So if you have a podcast, if you've been on Clubhouse, if you're on TikTok, if you do live streams just like this every single week, like I do and like I teach most of my students to do, then this is going to be for you. So let's talk about these 3 ways that you're going to be getting more out of social media by the time you're done watching this. A couple of them are mindsets, a couple of them are tactical. Let's go ahead and hop in. The way I look at it is we got to kind of have the right mindset when it comes to social media, right? And so without the right mindset, it makes it really hard to really get where we want to go. And the first thing that I want to share with you is kind of it's a bit more mindset related, but it's extremely important. And this has changed the way I look at social media as well. And the first thing is deposits. I don't know about you, but over the last couple of years, I've become really bullish about cryptocurrencies. Many of them, would love to know what coins maybe you're long on or excited about. But the idea of kind of dollar cost averaging, which is where you buy your investments just like groceries. Instead of putting all, let's say $10,000 into your investment, you take that $10,000, you split it up into weekly payments. So you're constantly buying whether the stock or the coin is up or down. And when you do that over a year, you eventually are going to have a bit more security with your investments, but also you kind of end up filling up your buckets. And that's what I want to share with you right here. And the way I want for you to look at it is like you have some buckets. And so maybe you have the Clubhouse bucket, you have the Facebook bucket, and you have the Instagram bucket. What most coaches do is they kind of fill them up a little at a time. So each of their cup has a little bit of water inside of it. And what I want for you to do is to start looking at this with a different goal and a different aim. And what I want for you to start doing is to focus on filling up one cup. So what I want to know from you while you're watching this right now is, which cup do you want to fill? Like, what are these cups to you? Maybe this one is IG, maybe this one's Facebook, maybe this, because the talk of the town, is Clubhouse. Which bucket do you want to work on filling up and having flow over and spilling over into your other buckets? Because there's a way of doing this that causes your buckets to fill up a bit more predictably, and to have one bucket fill up all of the rest. So comment right now, do you want it to be Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, or what social media platform is it that you want to be focused on and making your daily deposit into? Okay? So that's deposits. We want to start looking at us showing up on social media as deposits, and we got to be doing it a bit more frequently, but only frequently in one place, and then using that to fill over the rest. Really, guys, if you want to fill up a bucket and not be left with just, kind of the same amount of followers all the way around, it's just not really known for any one thing to any one sort of person, is you got to focus on one of these buckets for the next year to 24 months. And if you do that, you'll be able to take, this, let's say you're using the Instagram bucket, this one, and say, hey, go follow me on Facebook. Or, hey, I'm launching a Clubhouse show. And all of the people will come from your Instagram and go to your other channels. Is that making sense, team? Let me know. Let's now talk about thing number 2 that I'd love to see you do in order to get more out of social media. Okay? And what this comes down to is a number. And that number is simple. That number is 1. And what I want you to start thinking about is one of these 2 things. It's kind of an either or. And so you can focus on a channel like one of these buckets, like I'm just going to focus on Instagram, or you can focus on one piece of content. So which do you want to do? Do you want to focus for 18 months on deposits, or do you want to do one piece of content a week and have that go to all of the buckets all the way across? And so, for instance, I do these streams here on Facebook, and then this also goes, it goes into my group profile business page. It goes over on YouTube, and then I take it and I go and make actual like video trainings that do lead generation for me. So I can show up here and then turn this into a reel. I can turn this into a TikTok, a Clubhouse topic, a podcast. I can take the audio and make it into just a podcast. And so I'm existing on all the other platforms, but I'm doubled down here in front of you right now and using that to fill up all of my other buckets. And so you can focus on a channel, on one channel. Whoops. You can focus here on one channel, or you can focus on making one really good piece of content every week and taking it and sprinkling it across. I know that this sounds super sexy. It's a lot of work to get it right. To do the micro content strategy takes a lot of work to really get it right. And so if you're gonna commit to this, you got to already be consistent with your content, already showing up. This should not be like a new thing and you're gonna start a production. Does that make sense? I just don't want to overload you and overwhelm you when you have all of these other things to be focusing on. So that's thing number 2. Last, let's use it green. Kind of thing number 3, to get more out of social media. And it still is shocking to me how many people look at things this way, but most people are focused on conversions. Like many of you reached out over the last week for my Convo starter examples. I have 15 of them. Would love to share them with you. Just comment the word Convos here below and I'll give them to you. There was someone in the comments, a super good guy. I don't know him personally, but seems like a super good guy, and mentioned like, hey, why don't you put a landing page and a chat bot and do all of this kind of fancy tech jargon stuff? And I have all of that. I use those things in my business. But I'm focused on, in social media, I'm not focused on conversions and converting over to an email list and all this. And all that's great. Time and place for it. I'm focused on something way more simple and way more friendly, because I think that all sales happen from a conversation. And that's how I've optimized my social media. And that's what I want for you to do as well, is to focus on convos instead of conversions. So how do you do that? Well, the first thing that you do is, instead of working on clicks and landing pages and all of that, is you optimize to get people's hands raised instead. So when you see me say, who wants this thing, raise your hand or comment an emoji or say me, that's me creating convos. I send the thing over, I fulfill on the promise, and then I have a small conversation with those who want to have the conversation. Not everybody does. Some might say, hey, thanks, I got it. I have all the leads I need, all the sales I need, everything is good. I just wanted the starters. Okay, cool, dude. Like, let me know how things are going in life. And so it's all about conversations. Now, when you do this and you do this right, when you implement my system across, which I've talked about in various trainings, if you want a full video on the pathway and implementing my system for starting conversations and how you turn them into sales, then just let me know. I can send that over to you for free, no big. But a portion of the people that raise their hand and say, yeah, send me the guide, send me the Convo starter, send me the training, a few of those people are going to want to engage with a conversation with you and potentially talk about working with you, or at least talking about their problems and brainstorming a plan. In order for that to happen, that just doesn't happen randomly and you just show up on social media one day and you get a client randomly. No, you need a system. And more importantly, for this part, you need a pathway. And what this pathway is a series of back and forth questions and answers. And when you do this right, you come up with powerful questions that bring out answers and thoughts from them that they've never shared with anyone else. And when you're that coach, that consultant, that person having that conversation with them, they're going to start considering and backwards engineering, saying, wow, this person has this thing that helped me a ton. What else do they have? And they become more open to the idea of potentially working with you and hiring you as their coach or as their consultant, depending what your offer is. And so we don't want to optimize around conversions anymore. We want to optimize around conversations generated, started, and taking down your pathway here, and just how many hands are you getting raised every day, week, month, year, and so on. So I want to know from you watching this, which one of these has been the biggest kind of takeaway for you here so far? Do you need to be making more frequent deposits and focusing in on one platform here more? Or were you doing this already? It's an investment mindset with your content. I think content is an investment, team. Being on social media, it's an investment of your time for sure. And it can have a reward if you're intentional about it. Do you want to focus on just one channel, one of these kind of buckets down here? Or do you want to focus on one piece of content that's the pillar thing that you do pretty much every week or something like that? Or are you most excited about generating more conversations, creating this kind of pathway for them to go from random friend on Facebook, random new friend connection, or raising their hand for something, and actually taking them down a pathway that you can do every single day on repeat for getting new clients, basically on autopilot? But team, this is the framework. This is how we get more out of social media. If you are feeling like social media is shutting you, not giving you the results you're wanting, it's probably because we're missing out on one of these most. Which one is it for you? I want to know. When you get this right, you wake up every single day to people in your inbox, in your DM, in your email, responding to your emails, to your posts, commenting on all of your stuff, and you stay more relevant in the algorithm. You get more rewards from the social media platforms, and there's nothing more rewarding than the chance to change someone's life or them signing up, getting the result that you helped them with, and being the person that actually did change their life through your programs and through your help. And this, my friends, is the pathway to do it. Now, if you want some help with this, and maybe you're tired of spending a bunch of time on social media, there is a way to be getting clients and sales without focusing a whole ton on social media, but you have to be doing the right things in the right order. You don't just want to show up on social media, implement this, and you get clients. You got to have the right offer. You have to know exactly what to be doing to be getting the daily lead flow, and you have to know how to get prospects selling you so that you're never selling. Instead of, where most people push them to buy something, no, the client pulls you and is asking more and more. Can you help me? How does this work? What do I do? Do I book a call, or do we just do it? They're going to be the ones figuring it out and reversing the whole process and selling you on why you should work with them. And so if you want some help with that, then I have a couple things that could help you along that way. I'm looking for a couple more coaches here this month of April to implement this system and to bring it to life. You have to have an offer worth at least $500. You have to have 2 to 3 hours a week to implement my exact roadmap and plan for you. You have to be friendly and coachable, and you have to have the capacity to help anywhere from 3 to 5 new clients here in the next 30 to 45 days. If that's you, come to our clients. I'll reach out and we'll see if it's a fit for you. We'll have a quick chat. I'm a no pressure kind of guy. I turn a lot of people away and send them to another direction because I'm really selective with who I work with, and because I'm only looking for the right kind of coaches and service providers who have this sort of time and capacity and who add energy to my life, truthfully. And so luckily we have a whole league of those sort of coaches and people already that I'd love to put you around, kind of shoulder to shoulder, who are implementing this every single day in a week with my help and with my guidance, and all kind of helping each other out. So if that's you, comment the word clients. I'll reach out. We'll have a quick chat and see if I can help you and kind of what's possible over the next 30, 60, 90 days and over the next year. Thank you so much for watching. This is how, team, you get more out of social media and stop ending your day thinking about all the time you might be wasting. Which one of these is the biggest opportunity for you? Comment and let me know, and I'll see you guys back here again next week for one of these trainings.